Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be just showing you my Yugioh GOAT deck. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't made a YouTube video for a decent bit. This is my first. It's been a bit. So, making this video, get back in the flow, but, let's start. So, first we got the monsters. We got Air Knight Parshath. He's pretty strong. And then we got Chaos Sorcerer and Black Luster Soldier. So these are kind of like my finishers and kind of the big boss monsters. Right, Parshath, you need to tribute, Sorcerer and Soldier. You need the light and the dark. So these are kind of the guys that are going to help you finish off the game. And then we have Blade Knight. We have two Blade Knights, Kaiku, Reflect Bounder, Zur Priest. These are all, beaters and just big attack stats. Lights. Zur Priest is a spirit, so it bounces back to your hand at the end of your turn, but it can attack, all monsters, so that's good for like scapegoats or whatever. So there, and then we have Breaker. This is I think I only have 3 trap destruction, and this is one of them. Once again has high attack stat. And then we got Sanguine. This allows me to search out, other key monsters that I might need. Tsukiyomi, I run 2 of them. So a popular move I like, is using Sanguine to search for Suk. But you got 2 of them, so most of the time you'll draw into one. And then we have 2 Magicians of Faith, 2 Decoichis, a Mask of Darkness, a Penguin Soldier, and a Gravekeeper's Guard. So these are all flip monsters. So, you gain, Magician of Faith is a light, and, Gravekeeper's Guard and Penguin Soldier, you bounce back your opponent's monsters. Decoichi, you draw a card. Mask of Darkness, you get a trap back. These are all just kind of value engines. With Suk, you can bounce things back. I've got, other ways of flipping them back down so you can get multiple uses out of the flip effects. And so that's the monsters, and then we will move on to the spells. So we have 2 Noblemans of Crossout, 2 Book of Moons. So the reason why you do Book of Moon is so with Suk, you can, put things down. Book of Moon, the same, and then Crossout, you can, if you're flipping down enemy monsters, you can use Crossout on them, or just, flip monsters. It works. And then we have, Pot of Greed, Graceful Charity, Heavy Storm, and Mystical Space Typhoon. These are, just good cards you run. The Heavy Storm and Mystical Space Typhoon are, the other 2 trap destruction cards. So, and then, draw cards, so. And then we have the traps. So we have Jar of Greed, Time Seal. So Jar of Greed and Time Seal, we just one run of them. And these are Time Seal, you don't need to use 3 of them. A lot of times, you run 3 of them and you go, okay, this will delay. Yeah, but you also want to draw good cards. Time Seal, you really just have to be smart when you use it, and if you do use it at the right time, you can, cripple your opponent. Jar of Greed is a bit weaker, honestly. I'm not a big fan of it. A lot of people like it. I'm not a big fan of it. And that's honestly probably the card I'd get rid of, just because it draws a card, but it's slow, and, I'd rather just stick an actual card in there that does something, because it's just kind of slow and doesn't do much. And then we have Solemn Judgment. We have 2 Solemn Judgments and 2 Magic Drains. So these are negates. So a big, I can stop my opponent from playing strong cards, and that's a big tactic. There's a lot of kind of small things that can happen, how the game plays out, and a common one is just you just stop your opponent from making any progress with these, and you use Mask of Darkness to bring them back, and you can kind of do well with that. So that's handy. And then we have Compulse, Mere Force, Ring of Destruction, Sakuretsu Armor, Bottomless, and Magic Cylinder. So these 6 cards are really just kind of stopping your opponent from having monsters on the field, right? Compulse is a bit more iffy. On it doesn't really kill it, but I mean that's kind of thing. It's got a lot of flip monsters that are kind of weak, and you don't want them attacking into it. So you just have these monsters that kind of stop your opponent from having monsters, which is always good. And then you have Magic Cylinder, which once again it just kind of keeps your monsters alive, and also does burn damage with Ring of Destruction. So another thing that can happen is you just get your opponent's life down pretty low by just doing a bit of damage to them, which that's kind of fun. So that's all the cards. I hope you enjoyed watching them. In the description, actually, in this time that I haven't been making videos, I've been making some video games. So in the description, I'm gonna put my Yugioh, and if you want to go check those out, I think they'd be fun. They're fun. There's a Pokemon game that's the newest one. I made a point-and-click adventure game that's kind of fun. That's kind of short, and then I made a RPG top-down game. That one's fun. That one's kind of long, but I'd say fun. I made it, so I think it's good. But if you want to, you can check those out, and I'll see you in the next one.